Arbitration is definitely a weird process. In fact, the argument's been made a few times that maybe we should just get rid of this in Major League Baseball. But, ultimately, the players like their ability to increase their salary before they hit free agency.
Sure.
That's basically why it was negotiated in the collective bargaining agreement.
Because if not, imagine this. Imagine Jackson Merrill is a good example. So Jackson Merrill comes up last year as a rookie. He's making the league minimum. And he has the monster season he has. Then he comes out this year and he has a monster season. And then he comes out the next year and he has a monster season. And then a monster.
This is Jackson Merrill.
And he's making $700,000 each year. Good money, certainly. But he's like, hey, do you guys want to keep me here? Should we be talking about a long-term extension? Yeah, we'll get to it. We still have you for 2 more years of control, and you're making the same amount of money. So you can absolutely see the risk-reward for a player of going, man, I sure hope I don't have to go into that room and get raked over the coals for an extra couple $100,000 or $500,000 or $1 million, whatever it is. But you know why they want to do it, and it does make sense. And guys can make good money in ARB, as you saw yesterday.
Yeah, Juan Soto was making, almost $30 million in ARB.
I think Soto was
last year
31, and Shohei was 30, and Vladdy Jr. was 28.5 yesterday.
So based on the agreements that the Padres did reach yesterday, Luis Ariz in his final arbitration-eligible season will make $14 million, which was right around the projection. And it's a big number for Luis Ariz. That's a number the Padres probably would like to have cut down a little bit, but because of that arbitration process, they knew he was going to get somewhere around there, so they ended up settling and finding the number that worked for both of them. Dylan Cease will receive $13.75 million, raised from last season, as he should. Finished 4th in the National League Cy Young voting and has proven himself for his last year of arbitration. Jason Adam, one of the better relievers in baseball, got $4.8 million for his arbitration number. Adrian Morejon, $2 million. That actually feels like a bargain based on how he contributed last year. And then Luis Camposano got $1 million, which is now only about $200,000 above the major league minimum, and that's reflected because Luis Camposano finished the year in AAA. Did not take a step forward in 2024, so he doesn't get a big raise, but gets that guaranteed and will remain with the Padres going forward. The guy, of course, that they failed to reach the agreement with was Michael King. A little further apart in their offers, the Padres offer $7.325 million to Michael King. King and his agent have come back with a number of $8.8 million. And here's how it's going to work. If the Padres and Michael King do not agree to a contract before whenever the arbitration hearing date is set, and it's usually in the first couple of weeks of spring training, we'll go into the room. We've talked about this. Both sides will get to present for an hour each their case as to why they think their number is more representative and accurate for the salary that he should deserve that season. A panel of 3 arbiters will then decide. And if they feel like Michael King is worth anywhere more than the halfway point, which is $8.0625 million, then Michael King gets $8.8 million. If they think he's worth like $8 million, then the Padres win and he'll get $7.325 million. They can't pick a number in between those two. It has to be either the Padres number or Michael King's number. He will make one of those two numbers in arbitration, which is why it's now a little more difficult for the two sides to come together for a 1-year deal.
Right.
Because if the Padres are offering, let's say the Padres say, all right, we think you're worth $8.1 million, and we'll settle for that. Michael King will go, well, if you think I'm worth $8.1 million, then the arbitrators will also think I'm worth $8.1 million, and they'll have to give me $8.8 million.
8.8.
Now, if the Padres say we'll give you $8 million, and the King's side will say, well, if the Padres win at $8 million, then I only get $7.325. So it's really hard at this point now come up with a 1-year deal, which is why oftentimes attention will turn to maybe just extending a long-term contract.
Or even a 3-year deal. Something like that.
Okay, but this all does not. It's not black and white. It does not mean that things are about to get contentious. The Padres have no interest in locking up Michael King. They're trying to do him wrong, right?
No, not at all.
No,
I mean, who knows how ugly things get. We talked yesterday about how Josh Hader felt, slighted and offended by the case that the Milwaukee Brewers made against him at arbitration. It's certainly not a fun process to have your employer go in and point out the things that you're deficient at, and areas where you don't meet up to their expectations, and why they don't think you deserve quite as much as you think your side deserves. So it's not fun, and it's probably not a feel-good process. But if you have a normally thick skin and understand this is just part of the business, there's no reason why it should ruin the relationship between two sides.
So in the last segment, you were pointing out how, maybe that $1.5 million actually makes a huge difference, like that they're saving with the luxury tax and all that. Is it possible that AJ can say, look, Michael, here's our situation. Like, this is why we're doing this. We want you long term. We're going to work something out. This is why this has to be. And it doesn't have to get, you showed up late that one time and get all nitpicky.
Right. I'm sure that Michael King understands. He reads the situation and knows, Padres are trying to save a little money. And they just, it's not that they've made no offer. They've offered him $7.325 million. He thinks he's worth $8.8. And this is how the process works.
He made $3.15 million in 24. It's a good raise either way. But sure. No, I mean, get your worth. Get what you think you're worth. And he did everything asked of him and then some next year. Again, you look at the guys on that list and you see a guy that's well deserving of a raise. You don't want this. You don't want this to get ugly at all with a guy of Michael King's caliber. My silly copium that I'm smoking right now is that, they're off, $1.5 million here, but they're going to work out a 3-year deal, a 4-year deal or something to keep Michael King here for the next few. That's my hope.
That would be nice.